What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Knights of the Hollow Table. This is the final episode of the Acolyte. So, it's finally over.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
It's finally over. That's my thought. That's my thoughts about this. It's like, I mean, it had, like we said, it had good parts. It had bad parts. There's stuff that should have been left out. There's stuff that should have been put in. But we can't get everything we want, right? So,
Well, yeah, we can't get everything we want, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of things we didn't get.
yeah.
Let's
of
put it that
course.
way.
Yeah.
And how about that finale? So, they had some decent lightsaber combat.
Mhm.
Uh,
That by far, that's like what kept me into the show, the lightsaber combat.
That was the only
Yeah.
thing that was intriguing about
Yeah.
the finale, which is kind of crazy, but even that combat was kind of short-lived,
Mhm.
right? I expected this whole kind of fight scene with Quamir and all the Jedi that came and all this.
Mhm.
Nope, didn't get that. We got another Quamir and Soul part 2.
Yeah.
Right?
We had manhunt with the Jedi.
And then wait, we got a forced bicycle kick.
Yeah. Liu
Yeah, I
Kang.
was like, yeah, it's like Luke Kane over here.
Yeah.
Finish him.
Finish him.
But then he didn't finish him, so I was like, oh well,
Yeah.
that Mortal Kombat game sucks. But I mean, even some of the force food, like kind of how he kind of floated. People love Japanese movies and kung fu movies. Those are great.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that really applied to Star Wars. Like the way they moved just felt off. It felt like a Jedi could flip back further or something. Like this whole like gliding thing.
Yeah, it was just the speed of it. To me, it was the speed of
Weird.
it. It felt like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon speed, Or it's
Crouching
like
Tiger, Hidden Twins.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Plagueis. Whoa.
the beginning scene. What do we get? We get her and Quamir in the room, right? She still has the
Mhm.
helmet on, and you see her freaking out. She's getting into it, whatever, and then all of a sudden he's trying to help her, and then somehow she just like puts him under that spell where his eyes turn black, and you can tell like at that moment he's like, oh shit, this girl is fucking strong, and he finally takes it off, and he's just looking at her like, okay, like, you got that power, girl.
You got that. You got that black magic.
Yeah, you got that black magic. You can get me, girl. So we go into that, and then they just decide, okay, let's figure out what's going on now. Let's go onto my ship and go back to where it all started.
Yeah.
And then who do we get? Plagueis, like creeping out, like
Old man Gollum Plagueis.
that didn't bother me really, because you got to think about it. When they're both together, right? If that was Quamir was his apprentice, he would have killed them right there. It would have been done with, because he knows that Quamir is trying to, plot against Plagueis now. So we know at that point that it's Tenebrous, and probably Plagueis is looking for his own apprentice to take over, because that's what they all do. They gotta scout before they just take out their master, because then they got nothing.
Would Plagueis be alive?
Yeah, Plagueis would be alive. I mean, at the end of the day, they can change the time. They say 80 years, they say 100 years, they can say 120 years.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's probably like, because the one thing that pissed me off about this whole beginning, they could have just said the unknown planet is Baldemic. That's it. Just say it, so we know. We see Plagueis.
You think they should have said that in this finale and like labeled the planet?
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean,
like have it as unknown planet the last time, but then this time.
yes,
say,
this time like it's
here's
there's
the actual name.
they zoom into the planet, and like obviously they zoom in the. Let's just do this. They zoom into Plagueis, little creepy hand peeping out. He's looking.
This is Chris directing TV. This is the first
Yeah,
time
this is me. Yeah. So this is what I know everything about this. I'm one of those guys that watches boxing and be like, yo, I could have knocked that guy out. So you zooming in, right? You zoom out after Plagueis and you say Baldemic. That's it. And then we know. It's
Simple
like,
little things, right?
simple.
Yeah. Or like even like I mean I think it'd have been really sick if you did like you kind of once they fly away you kind of cut back to the Carcosis and pan down and like some really deep sinister Sith music comes in, and then you just see a hooded figure. You don't have to show his face.
Yeah, but
Like,
how did Quamir
something.
find this planet? That's the main thing too. How did you know that Cortosis was there?
Well, and I think that a lot of that's just set up because they want a season 2.
Yeah, but at the whole point, Plagueis and Tenebrous knew that the Sith knew certain places where they can mine Cortosis, because because the Jedi's like, yo, we got to get all these planets that have Cortosis and just like make sure no one can mine it. So they knew where it was at. So Plagueis probably went there to try to plot out like, okay, when Tenors and B come back, this is where I'm gonna kill him.
Right.
And all of a sudden he feels like, something's like, oh, I feel a strong force, something in the force, and he looks out and he sees the two. He's like, oh shit. Like,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, we got more force sensitives, and he's like, now he's gonna play this little plot like, who's stronger? Like, who will I take as my apprentice? But we'll never know.
Yeah, well, I don't think we'll ever know. I mean, and it just felt weird. It felt off. You know, like if that was the whole. I guess for me, the biggest thing there is if this is the beginning of the finale, right? This is where we're starting this finale. We're starting to end this quote unquote chapter, this 8-episode piece.
Yeah.
And it's like, why does everything have to be 8 episodes? I mean, and $180 million for 8 episodes. That's a whole other thing we keep talking about.
Yeah.
But if this was the eventual plot we're getting to, right? This Plagueis, Tenebrous, this kind of piece, right? Sprinkle some of that shit throughout, so we're not like just stuck to the last episode. No. This is what we call a bait. This is pure bait. This is just to flash something on a screen, just to make you happy to go, oh, but look, they're doing something I've always wanted. I want to see season 2. That's what they want from everyone. They want everyone to just be like, I have to have season 2 because I have to see that story. Let's be honest though. Do we want the same people that made this show to tell that story?
No.
Hell no.
Hell no.
No, stay as far away from that story as possible, please. Because, geez, man, that would be. You know how bad that would be.
Yeah. It's just sad that they would do that. Like your show's not doing good, so they're like, each episode, let's put Cortosis, let's put Plagueis here at the end, and they're already planning for the second season. No, why would you why would you think ahead when you haven't even finished this one and you don't even know the outcome of this one? So they're already planning. So season 2, we're gonna get it. Like,
let's just go back to like Mando season 1, right?
Yeah.
If Mando season 1 ended and that was it, would have been fine.
Yeah.
It had a decent little ending. It was kind of cool. He got Grogu back. That was good. I saw someone make a meme that they made a meme of I think it was Plagueis with a little Grogu thing. With a little baby Palpatine. That's pretty funny.
Have a float around. Me.
But once we get past this, let's get through this finale, and then we can talk about theories and stuff, whatever. But once we get through that, they fly back to the planet. Let's go see what's up, right? And then we cut to kind of the Soul May.
The whole fight. The whole fight with what's that little thing, bro? What's that little critter that they keep showing in every freaking episode?
Dude, it's his name is. It starts with a B. I keep forgetting his name.
Ballsack? I don't know what the hell his name is.
Hang on, character.
Ballsack. Fucking annoying, dude. That character is so annoying.
Basil. The little character
Basil. They gotta put a little basil in that,
basil
for us.
In there. Yeah. Well, so obviously all 4 of them are on the planet.
Yeah.
May and Osha start to see each other's rooms again. They start to discover things. Quamir and Soul start to fight.
Badass fight.
Pretty badass. Some of the wire work was just, it looked like a old school knockoff,
Kung
anime.
Fu.
Anime force food thing or something.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, Ocean may fight each other match for match, hit for hit.
Yeah, that boom, 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 boom. Like, okay, close quarters, Krav Maga and shit. Like, all right, we got this shit. We got this shit down, bro. We're not gonna hit each other hard. We're just gonna the sibling, fight. The simple.
It's just a sibling fight.
Yeah,
we don't want to be aggressive.
Stop you. You stop me. I stop you. Yeah.
And then May really gets to Ocean, really gets into her head, and really gets her to figure out, like, hey, you know what? I may have been wrong about some stuff. And Osha really starts to think. And then cut back to the High Council, cut back to, we actually see, we cut back to Venestra in this kind of office thing that actually looked pretty Sith to me. It was
like the chair with the red.
And the red.
I'm like, hold up, girl.
Hold up, what's she doing here? And then she's talking to the senator, which there was some good conversation in there. Like, that actually had some decent dialogue, I think.
Yeah, that was good dialogue.
That was good dialogue. So, like, see? There are parts that we can say it was good. So that part was good.
Yeah.
And then she says, get as many Master Souls activated as beacon, right? Someone comes to her and says, Master Soul activate the beacon. And so she says, gather as many Jedi Knights as possible without raising any, alarm.
Bro, horrible Jedi. Let me just say, the Jedi, that dude that keeps coming in. I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
what do you need, my master? Should we get more Jedi? She's like, get as much as you can. I'm like, okay.
Now see, we go from good dialogue
Yeah.
to bad dialogue that
Yeah.
fast. You know, it's like, oh, cool. Oh, we're back to this. Cool.
All right.
Like, thanks for bringing us back.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Let's huddle in this little ship and let's go.
That would have been the
That
best.
ship looked like did it look like a stingray, or was it just me as it was floating? It seemed
No,
like
like a
tail.
sting. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a
little
fucking stingray
but,
from
like,
Phantom
also,
Menace.
I half expected the Jedi to like come together and put their hands in and go, "Let's go,
Yeah,
team!
let's go,
You know?
yeah. Power of 1, power of 2, power of 3, power of 4, power of everybody. The fucking crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that they're coming. Obviously, the 4 that are on the planet don't know that they're coming.
Yeah.
And we get through the Quimir and Soul fight, and Soul kind of has Quimir on the ropes here a little bit, right?
Yeah. He
He
did a
kinda
special move at the end, right?
did a special move.
He's like, I'm charging up. Here I go.
Yeah. And then remember he deactivated his lightsaber and moved.
Yeah.
Right. Something
Like-
it's because that was kind of cool. It's like a little
Yeah, that was
different. We haven't seen that. But then he cuts Cormier's lightsaber, like
Yeah.
actually, breaks the lightsaber. So then he has the little small lightsaber piece, and
Mhm.
but the twins stumble upon the fight,
Yeah.
and
Osha with that force pull, like, mine.
Osha
Yeah.
snatched that saber out of his hand.
Yeah, like nothing.
Because was it Quimir or no? I think May got Soul to admit.
Yeah,
while
when
Osha
she was in the
behind
background.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Osha's in the background, and
Mhm.
May gets Soul to admit he killed their mother, one of their mothers.
He's like, yeah, I'll beat the shit out of. Oh shit, you're behind me. Oh, no, I didn't do it like that.
It's like,
To
yeah.
the fuck-
Oh,
Bah!
that stupid woman. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've slapped the
I
hell
beat-
out of.
Oh, hey, you're here. Oh, I didn't know.
My bad.
My bad.
I didn't know you were listening.
Yeah, I don't want to do it too graphic for you.
I didn't know you were listening.
Yeah.
So she snatches the lightsaber, and once she finds out,
Oh yeah.
she's
The
pretty
fa-
pissed.
She's
Right.
like, what? Huh? Same face, like the same face for everything. Like,
I'm gonna go hands down and say this is my
Mhm.
opinion.
go ahead.
The coolest shot in the entire series
Oh, I already know. Yeah.
is seeing that kyber crystal bleed.
Yeah.
It was really dope because you could feel her anger.
Yeah,
You
she's
could
like,
feel the best acting she did the whole series.
yeah.
Right.
This hand movement.
Yeah, the little pinch.
Yeah, the pinch.
And
I
she
can't
starts,
do that.
yeah, she starts force choking
Yeah.
Soul, and another Anakin move. Just saying, but
Mm,
starts doing the first force choke on Soul, and she eventually kills him.
Yeah.
And then Quimir sees the power of Osha and is like, oh, okay. Like it's almost like he was tempted, like, huh.
yeah, he was just sitting back, like, yeah, I'm
I'm
just
looking
gonna
at
let
a
her
new
handle
apprentice.
this.
I'm looking at a new. I see you, girl. I'm looking at a new apprentice right now.
You can
know?
handle this. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got
Do your-
this. Do your
Take
thing.
him out.
And then when she goes and he walks up to her, she pulls out, ignites the saber,
Yeah.
and it turns into red.
Yeah.
That wasn't as cool as bleeding kyber crystal. I think it should have just been red. But
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. And
Mhm.
so at that point, I think they see the Jedi coming, and
Yeah.
it's time to go. So what happens after that?
And then we get in the beginning too when the Pinestra and them land, and her SEAL Team 8, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's a bunch of dummies. They land right, and all of a sudden she feels because he doesn't have his helmet on with the the cortosis to block out anything. So she
picks up on him,
she picks on him, and he's like, oh shit, because he's looking at his back. He's like, oh, I remember that shit. He can feel it. So obviously now
she said, well, doesn't she like come out? She goes, "It's you."
yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
And then now we figure out that was her, apprentice.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's.
Sure.
I mean, we knew that without Mark.
Yeah, I mean that was
I
pretty
mean,
obvious.
Yeah,
That was pretty
but
obvious.
now they just like let us know the right way, instead of like us having to figure out things
yeah.
on our own.
So then he puts his helmet on
Yeah.
because he realizes. And
He's
then,
like, "Yo, I'm out of here."
But yeah, and then they're ready to get out. They're ready to leave, right?
Yeah.
Eat under the tree, right?
Yeah.
And why both of them couldn't leave
Mhm.
makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like this is where I think the whole story unravels and falls apart.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make sense as to why they split them up again.
Yeah.
I actually for a second there thought that they would join together in the Force and become one person.
Yeah.
Like somehow the way that they were saying bye it felt weird, really bye or something. Like it just felt
Yeah,
off.
like who's gonna get the good role now? Like, all right, yeah,
Yeah,
see
who's
ya,
yeah, and it's like, oh, we're gonna flip
yeah,
the sisters
yeah.
again. Parent trap switch one more time. Here we go.
Yeah.
And that happens, and so then what? Cormier wipes May's memory.
Yeah, like this. She goes like this. Done. Gone.
Yeah,
The SEAL team of Jedi
still team slow.
finds.
Still team slow.
Yeah, SEAL team. Stop in the name of the galactic. Put down all your weapons. I can see that none are in your hand, but like, what is she gonna tie her hand? She has the force. She knows the force, bro. Come on, she can force choke your ass too.
Yeah.
So then she's just like, I don't know what you're talking about, and then they just take her in. Like we're going back to the Jedi, our Jedi cave. Get a little, yeah, like the Batman running away. They go back to Coruscant like quick as shit. And then Venestra starts interrogating her. She's in there. She's just like,
yeah, but we also see Venestra go. She finds Soul's dead body.
yeah, and then we get
Right.
Camille from the top looking down, like kind of like a creep, like Plagueis. You're like, oh shit, like scared as hell. Like,
But then we see her eventually also having some sympathy and crying for Soul.
yeah,
But then when we go back, she starts explaining to the council what happened. Right. That was kind of interesting, the way that she explained all these things, which she's obviously lying.
I think
Right.
she was happy when May's mind was wiped because it makes it easier for her to lie.
Yeah.
That was a good little, like, cause
Makes the cover up a lot easier.
yeah, because she was acting so like, oh, like poor girl, like she knows the whole story. She knows what happened.
She knows everything that happened, but
Yeah.
obviously she's gonna play the part
Yeah,
so that May doesn't suspect anything. She goes, and she even says like, "Oh, so your last memory is when you're 8 years old."
yeah.
Like she kind of like, "Oh, got it, cool."
Yeah, then she
done.
plays the baby role, like, oh, poor baby, like, oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna help you out now,
So then we start seeing through that. We see her actually. She burns Soul's body, for the first time. Maybe because she didn't want people to find it, but she burns.
Yeah,
Soul,
finally, right?
Yeah,
One of them.
Soul's her scapegoat.
One of them. The rest are getting eaten by those
Yeah.
bugs.
So Soul's her scapegoat, and she blames every single thing on him, and she burns the body. She walks around the corner into her room, and says, "Master, I need to talk to you," kind of, right?
Yeah.
And then we pan down and we see Green Eaters.
Yeah. Do you
and
have
it's
any
like,
methamphetamines? He looks like he's just baked. He's just there like,
Yeah.
what do you want? Like, what happened? Yeah, I still know, the rule of two. I knew it in Phantom Menace. I talked about it with Mace,
Well,
you know,
it's just weird, but like, I mean, because we're not a Phantom Menace yet, and
Yeah.
Yoda's sitting here, obviously just probably meditating, right, in a
Yeah.
chamber, and what we get is like, Yoda has premonitions, like he can see things,
Mhm.
he can see what happens with Anakin,
Yeah, with the sand people, and they're not even.
and all this stuff, but somehow he can't sense what the hell just happened.
Nah, he's in that meditation.
You should have
chamber.
left Yoda completely out of this thing.
Yeah. And they
But-
asked, this is the annoying part, is Yoda going to be in there? And she's like, oh, no, we didn't get permission to use him. Like, it's just like, I get it. It was a cool little scene, but it would have been better if the show was better. Like.
Yeah, I think the Plagueis in the cave and Yoda at the end, 100%, it's pure just bait.
There's a lot of things that, like, they answered, yeah, but it could have been answered a while ago. And there's a lot of things left unanswered.
I just feel like there wasn't enough continuity in the story that it actually made sense. Like, there's a lot of the characters, if you watch this whole thing, where if they weren't there, it wouldn't matter.
Who's
Like,
the Zabrak mother? Who's the Zabrak mother? What's her name again? Coral or something like that? Coral. Okay. So, is she dead? Is she alive? Where'd she come from? Is she from Dathomir? She came over here to do this? Like, like, was it planned? It's a lot of things that are just...
I don't know. That's a good question because...
But she said she's not dead.
She's not dead.
She's not dead. So they didn't show her face or anything. And it's just like another thing like, oh, she's not dead yet. So you're already thinking about season 2. It's just...
Well, we know the other mother's dead, but...
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. There's... I kind of feel like we could have done without the twins.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like it would have been really cool if Cormier was the Acolyte himself. Like he was a Sith follower, like he was like trying to learn the ways of the Sith or whatever, and he's kind of doing all this stuff on his own. That to me would have been a much more intriguing story. Like we have Cormier walking up to these Jedi as a normal person, not dressed like a Sith or anything. Right?
Yeah. Well, my opinion as a director, and
as a director,
I have a lot of accolades. They should have
Darth director.
kept her young, right? Have Cormier be the Acolyte. And just like in the Plagueis novel, right? Tenerbus made sure Plagueis was born because he went to the tomb moon. The father was force sensitive, and the mother was force sensitive. They didn't they didn't know each other, but he put them together to make a strong, well, for him, Sith.
See that? Yeah. If they had followed that, that would have been.
It's I mean, you're taking stuff from a story. Take something that's like they made it happen, you know, and then it's like, oh, okay, and then they can explain the Force and how everything, you know, they become one, and their midichlorian count's high, and now we know why, because it was procured. Like, they put them together like a science project, you know, and it worked.
But then you see this person that's kind of puppeteering it in the background.
Yeah, in the background, Plagueis with the hood while they're saying power of one, whatever, you know.
Yeah, there's some sinister elements there. Like,
exactly.
I think I think you're right. You'd have kept more people intrigued that way throughout the whole piece. So I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and give some finale scores of that finale, and then let's give the series score. So
that's a hard one.
You go first.
So
finale.
Thinking about it, I give it a strong 7. Just because,
just 6 on your page.
Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking of it now because they put Plagueis. Because when you put a character in, now it can be used. So now if Leslie Hammer,
so you're really just giving them props because they put Plagueis in, so we can have Plagueis.
Because he can't. Yeah, they put Cortosis in, so now we have a planet where they can it's putting the story together for Plagueis. You know, it's fine. They showed him and they didn't give him any justice. That's fine, whatever. But now at least he's canon. The lightsaber fights were good. I liked it. You know, it was well put together. It wasn't like sloppy. Not like Ahsoka. So, I give it a 6.
The finale?
Give it a 6. Now I'm thinking about a 6, you know. I'm going back on my word, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 6. All right, so for me, the finale, I'm going to go with a 4.
4?
Yeah, 4.5 maybe. I could probably be persuaded to 5, but here's my thing. When you have a finale, you have to tie up things. You have to tie up some loose ends, and we didn't really tie up a whole bunch of loose ends. We just killed off some characters, had one little kind of lightsaber fight that was, in my opinion, pretty decent. Like I said, the coolest scene for me was bleeding a kyber crystal. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
That was really cool, seeing the inside of a lightsaber. We finally saw some emotion and acting from May. But the rest of it felt like the same thing that we saw the whole time, just hokey and cheeky and like. I think for me, putting Plagueis in there doesn't give me the whole idea of like, oh, we're gonna use Plagueis from now on. I'm kind of going, no, I actually don't want you to, because if this is what you're gonna do with it, I don't want it. You know, I think we get wrapped up into this stuff where it's like, oh yeah, cool, this is cool, but then like I'm trying not to let that affect my score because of just how it just didn't feel. There was no continuity. It just felt kind of off. The twins splitting up, making those, like, there's lots of things that didn't make any sense to me, and so I didn't feel like it didn't feel like a finale. You know, it felt like a teaser episode for what's next, and there was no finale. There was nothing final about this. It just set up more stuff, which typically some TV shows would do, right? They're like, oh, look, cool, wait for more, you know?
Yeah.
But let's be honest, if Disney renews this show for a season 2, it 100% shows that they do not care about the fans.
Yeah.
At all. But people are going to watch it. And that's kind of the issue right now, is people are just going to watch it because they're going to want to see what they do with Plagueis. Overall series,
give it a 5. 5, it's like, I mean, would I watch it again? No.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't. So I give it a 5. It's not like horrible, but it's not amazing. What they're praising it to be, it's not.
No, well, see, Ahsoka, I was looking at a 6 out of 10 because it's above average, right? And I think when you're looking at a scale of 10, everyone looks at like anything below a 5 as like just this really harsh criticism, right? But like a 5, like you just said, right? It's like take it or leave it. It was like a 5 is average.
Things gonna have to happen. Like there's gonna have to be a season 2 of something to try to explain all that.
Wipe?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, everybody stand still.
So season 2 Acolyte is everybody stand still. You know,
Well, it could be
wipe
like
your
the
memory.
movies.
It's Plagueis, right?
Yeah.
And he wipes everybody's memories, and he has like a little baby Palpatine, and then we see
Yeah.
Palpatine look back and smile.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see where it goes. We kept saying we wanted it to get better. We gave it a shot. We watched it.
Yeah.
I don't think it got better. That's my opinion. And we have different opinions. So like we have different scores, and that's what.
Yeah.
You know, it's totally fine to do that. But I think.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like a 7, a 6. It's just, I don't even know at the end of the day. It's just like we got Plagueis, like you're saying, but that's like they're throwing us a bone just so we watch it, and so we can be like, what's next for it? But hopefully, if it does get a season 2, which, like you're saying, it might, because they watched the show already.
They don't care anymore.
Yeah, they don't care. So if they do, they need to change the writing. I know people hate hearing this. Oh, they're writing. It's, trust me, if you think this is an amazing show, good for you. I'm happy you like that type of writing.
Yeah.
But like where it's going,
the writing is abysmal. The costume designs were mediocre. The lightsaber designs. If you look at the concept art for the lightsaber designs, which is what we got in the show, wow. Now that could be budgetary, but then at the same time, in your head, you're going, wait, $180 million, $180 million. Yeah, well, that's our thoughts on Acolyte Finale. But the cool thing is the Acolyte is over.
Yeah,
it's finally done. Where do we go from here? Well, we're gonna start diving into the really good writing, the really good stories of the Old Republic, which is my favorite era, and Chris's favorite. There's so many good stories in there, and I can't wait to dive into them and talk about different characters. We're going to show you different characters that you probably have never heard of, but we'll start out kind of small and build towards that, and even talk about, you know, what we could see happening with some of these people and who are our favorites, obviously. But the other thing too is maybe even talking through, like, maybe we'll play some KOTOR or something, and maybe, you know, talk about video games, Star Wars video games.
Breaking the controller.
Well, that was the one thing, you know. Anyway, we'll get into KOTOR bit, but so stay tuned, because we're just getting started. Acolyte was kind of we just wanted to make sure we covered it and talked about it, because it was obviously the talk of the town, you know. And so we just wanted to cover it and talk about it, but now it's over, and we're gonna move on, because until then, you got anything else?
No, that's it.
Yeah. Well,
no, we're over. It's over.
It's over. That's it. Game over. Yeah. But stay a Star Wars fan. And at the end of the day, people have different opinions. You know, it's okay if people like Acolytes. It's okay people completely hate Acolyte. Like, that's another piece too. Like, people are gonna say I'm a hater. Well, I'm a realist when it comes to entertainment. That was not good entertainment. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just wasn't. But until next time, we'll see y'all soon.
See ya.